Can we be friends again? I give up. I know how this ends. Might sound strange, but I'd give my life for you. Nothing's changed. I just ran away from the truth. One of us makes a mistake. We work our way through the heartache, and then we're back where we started. We've gone full circle again. But that's what we do. That's just what we do. Last weekend, that was your turn, I guess. Let's pretend that we are making progress. One of us makes a mistake. We work our way through the heartache, and then we're back where we started. We've gone full circle again. Know how this ends. Might sound strange, but I'd give my life for you. Nothing's changed. I just ran away from the truth. One of us makes a mistake. We work our way through the heartache, and then we're back where we started. We've gone full circle again. But that's what we do. That's just what we do. Last weekend, that was your turn, I guess. Let's pretend that we are making progress. One of us makes a mistake. We work our way through the heartache, and then we're back where we started. We've gone full circle again. But that's what we do. That's just what we do. Last weekend, that was your turn, I guess. Let's pretend that we are making progress. One of us makes a mistake. We work our way through the heartache, and then we're back where we started. We've gone full circle again. Like we always do. Like we always do.
Yeah, I just realised my mic wasn't working. That's awkward. But as I was saying, welcome to the stream. I excuse my background. That's why I've got the blur in the background. So yeah, my name's Sam Hudson. I'm the CEO of thisquality. Now you do see a lot of me. You see me on almost the whole entire thisquality page. But what I can assure you is that we are going to be showing a couple of other staff members that we have on our website eventually, but for now in our website we currently don't have an option to show the names of the authors that put their hard work into into the articles that we post onto thisquality. But what I've just got to say is that at thisquality we're trying our best to become the next big thing, the next big company to change media in New Zealand. But that's going to be a long road and a long haul ahead. But if you can just support us by going to thisquality.com/donate, that would assure us to and that would actually speed up the process of us becoming more mainstream, so that we can have stories with our staff members, releasing stories talking about what is it like to go shopping during COVID-19, stuff like that. And that's something that we want to do. Now excuse my pimples on my face, I'm so sorry, I'm a teenager. But I need to get to the point. So tomorrow we're going to be interviewing Billy Tekahika, Jamie Lee Ross, and Michael Stace. I think there's a few other people that we're going to be interviewing, but if you're really interested, stay tuned, because that interview will probably go live not tomorrow but the day after. It's going to be about an hour-long interview, so it's going to be really awesome, and just kind of get to know them in person. The mainstream media, they give them a bit of trouble, but like I say, there needs to be quality and monitored journalism, and that just doesn't happen. Most journalism is about how do I put it, the agenda that most media play, which is just pissing people off, basically, and not getting to the bottom of it. And what we're doing at thisquality is we're letting people sit back and relax, and we're letting them just talk about how they started their movement, how everything started, and that's kind of what we want to get to the bottom of. And speaking of that, there is a few other questions from my co-worker, and I don't know what those questions are, but you have to wait and see. I don't even know what they are, but there's going to be some nice questions. But yeah, it's going to be very interesting, and we're not trying to give people platforms to promote their work. We're trying to give them a platform to voice what they're doing, and also be serious about what they're doing. And that's kind of the main thing that thisquality does. We try to make sure that people are held accountable. And what we mean by that is that, yeah, we'll film everything. And this goes for anyone. It's not just Advance. We want to film people and just get them to express what their thoughts are. And we ask them if they're going to keep their promises. And of course, if they don't, then there's footage, and that just shows that a complete lie has been told to the public, and that's kind of how we hold people accountable. But that's called real journalism. And when it comes to journalism, when you're on a mainstream TV, it's all accusations, all idiocy, and it's just childish arguments, like Barbie dolls, if you want to put it that way. That's what I think of the mainstream media, anyways. But I think that AdvanceNZ, because they want an interview with us, it's mainly because they most likely trust us as a media company. And I think I'm so sorry about that. That is not Tinder. That is not Tinder. Yeah, but like a lot of that, I think we've got a lot of trust, and I think that's one thing you've got to build as a media company. You've got to build that trust in order to get yourself out there for one, but not just that. For two, it's not being biased, and I think that's what's the most honest part about running a media company. For one, you've got to more or less work hard, and to work hard, you've got to be who you are. You've got to represent your company as good as possible, and just not create an agenda. I could say that our only agenda at thisquality is Department of Conservation, stuff like that. We're totally against it, and we'll always hold them accountable. But it's the same for anything like government. We'll hold them accountable if we think that there's something. If we If we think there's something wrong, we will talk about it. But we just try to keep to the main points because politics. Yeah, it's interesting. It's an interesting world. I'm so sorry about that. I need to put my phone on silence. I'm so sorry. That is not Tinder. That is a YouTube notification. I'm telling you right now. Where was I? Yeah. We just got to be honest and just prove who we are as a company at thisquality. Just to have the opportunity. We're a small company. But to have the opportunity to kind of get to know and get to know the world of AdvanceNZ in the most civil manner is kind of what the mainstream media don't talk about, and we in no way will promote an agenda where we're one-sided. We will not promote an agenda where we're biased. We will do an interview with these guys, just like how we did it with Billy Tikahiga. I don't know if you watched that interview, but we're going to be civil. We just want to know what's happening. And I think there's a lot of things like not a lot of people know what happens behind the scenes at thisquality, but a lot of networking, emailing, conversations, meetings. It all happens, and I have to deal with it because I'm the CEO. But we're only a small team. But if we can just manage to gain that respect from a lot of groups, and I'm sure we have from our recent electorate filming that we've done around the Kapiti Coast and Horowhenua regions down in the lower North Island of New Zealand. I'm sure they respect that, and they appreciate that someone's out there going to film, someone's out there to film and just get what the mainstream media don't. It's not because there's only like 20 or 30 people that attend, or 40 people or 50 people, and that doesn't equate to what the mainstream media want. It's not all about that. It's not all about the numbers. We're there to promote their voices in the most civil manner possible. And like I say, that's the main, that's the biggest problem with the mainstream media, is that they're not civil, and they're all opinion based. Opinion, yeah, you can write an opinion post, but they're all opinion based. Like when you watch the telly, I haven't watched television since 2017. They're all opinion based. The reporter or the news desk person in the newsroom should never bring their opinion into it. It should all be civil. It should be, this happened, that happened, and we asked this question. It's not, we asked, you don't go ahead and you say, we asked this question and we didn't like it. You ask the question, and if you technically didn't like it, you don't say you don't like it. You say the question again. You repeat it. Or you change it up a little bit. You change the question from, how's your day, to was the weather sunny in your day? Like, that's how you can get more information out, if that makes sense. And that's called real journalism. And the journalism that's trained in New Zealand is completely biased. I must say that. It's trained the complete wrong way. It's all followed by one agenda. You can't just go and study communications and then build your own company, because that's not what they want. They want you to work for them. And I think that's the biggest problem with New Zealand media, and we're trying our best to change it. So in a sense of that, we are going to go into this interview tomorrow. with Billy Tekahika, Jamie Lee Ross, and Michael Stace, and a few other people, as civil as possible, and just kind of talk with them. We're all human, regardless of what the media focus on, which is like anti-vax, all that stuff. Who gives a flying crap about that? You should be asking the questions of how did everything start? What did you do to get to this position? And also, how did you fund it, or stuff like that. You've got to inspect and figure out where they came from. The whole anti-vax movement, it needs a lot of change, and that goes for like anti-5G and stuff. 5G, I reckon 5G is a wonderful technology. I think it's amazing. Without 5G, we wouldn't be able to live stream protests. We wouldn't be able to live stream all sorts of things on the go. We wouldn't be able to work on the go. Like I have a tablet, and this tablet allows me to sit in my car in a car park in Wellington City, and I can sit there for an hour and make articles. I can write emails, all sorts of things because of the 5G technology, right? The problem with 5G that the media don't talk about is that there is no study. Well, there is studies, of course, but no long-term studies, and the media don't talk about that. They just say that everyone that's a 5G conspiracy theorist doesn't conclude the ultimate answer, and the media should be speaking to the high-ups, and the high-ups should be able to say that they're not conspiracy theorists, but explain in the most easiest, simple way, like the teachers do. And saying that, though, the education's shit. Education system is shit in New Zealand, and it needs a complete change. But yeah, that's a whole other topic that we can talk about. But what I'm trying to say is that the media have to brighten up instead of being immature. It's not going to get them far. And I mean that's a big say for me. Running a small company. But in the long-term run, it's just going to make your audience or readers more toxic, and that's called making them follow an agenda. And you want your audience to decide everything. You shouldn't make or force your audience to decide upon something. Like if we make a story, we're not going to tell our audience this person's bad or that person's bad. We're just going to tell what's happened. For instance, like a car crash. We're going to just say what happened in the car crash. We're not going to name or shame anyone. And that's the same for a house fire. We're not going to take photos of a house fire or whatnot if the family are not okay with it. We can talk about what happened, but we wait till the official information comes out. Or we question the people with their permission. We don't just go and take a photo of a house without permission. That's rude, and that can ruin someone's life. I mean, it's the same thing, but politics is a scary world, and this year is, especially with what's going on around this country, is it's how do I say it? The media have a lot of influence around this whole election, and we're not going to participate in that because we just don't believe in it. But one thing I can say is that I'm reading your comments. Sorry, I didn't see that. Definitely. You need an education on a few things, but if you put it into perspective, I'll put it into perspective when I took business. I took business, and I've created businesses since I was 14, which is 2014. It's 2020 now. I'm 20 years old, so I've created businesses. I've and I've done more before even taking a business course. And when I did take this business course, it was all paperwork that was irrelevant, to me at least. But I thought it was a waste of time, and I could have done a whole lot more if I didn't take business class. Although it has taught me a few things like finances and stuff like that. But I believe personally myself that if you create a company, you work hard for it, and you keep going, and if you keep going, you're going to get opportunities. And that's like us with the Ministry of Health. We're so grateful to work with the Ministry of Health. We don't work with partnership, if that makes sense, but we are allowed to film the press conferences, and we were a nobody 5 months ago. I mean, that's just the hard work and dedication that I never learnt in business, yet I learnt it outside of business courses, which I guess I'm just more of a self-learner myself personally. But in a sense, to the AdvanceNZ interview, we're going to make sure that it's not biased, and we're just going to chat like human beings and get through it civilly. There'll be a few tough questions, but they're not going to argue. I always use the saying we're not going to argue like Barbie dolls, if that makes sense. When Barbie dolls argue, they get nowhere, and it just doesn't help. So we can ask the questions, the audience will decide, and that's kind of what our company is all about. We make sure the audience decide what gets determined, and then that's it. So I read that comment too. I like your style. I'm sure you'll do a fair and unbiased job. Thanks so much. Anyways, I'm going to end it off, and I hope you just enjoyed this one. I just thought I'd do a quick little live stream while the network's still online. Well, we're technically shut right now, but I just thought I'll have a little chat with the audience here on the @thisquality handle on all social medias. But other than that, I hope you all have a good night, and we'll see you in a couple days in a long in an hour-long interview featuring Billy Tikahika and Michael Stace and who was the other person? I keep forgetting. Jamie Lee Ross, that's it. Yeah. So we're going to make sure we do an unbiased job. I just thought I'd let you guys know what we're getting up to, and just to make sure that we're going to be as peaceful as possible as a company, and we're not going to create drama for no reason. It's just no use. But anyways, if you want to donate to us, go to thisquality.com/donate. But other than that, you'll see some articles tomorrow morning on just the traditional news as usual. But yeah, anyways, thanks everyone for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.